a couple of years ago, the big thing was loan modifications. Everybody wanted a loan modification. Personally, I don't think it worked, but that's just my own personal opinion. And the banks weren't real hot to get them done anyway. I don't know if any of you have experienced that situation.
I know people who have.
Yeah, it's like, I just talked to a guy that we did a short sale. And man had a heart transplant, lost both his legs. And his wife was working so they could make a payment if they would lower the payment. Of course, they would not. And they lost the house. We sold the house for $125,000. And the bank turned it down. And they sold it at the auction 2 days ago for $102,000. So that makes a lot of sense to us. I had another one. I listed it at 120, and I got an offer for 140. Well, I knew it wasn't going to fly at 140, but I took it anyway. And knowing that if the appraisal came in, we'd sell it for whatever the appraisal was. Well, they turned it down. They sold that one at the auction for $72,000.
See a pattern there?
And that's the only thing that frustrates us. And then you look back and let me ask you a question. If you had it was going to happen tomorrow that you were couldn't make your payment, would you want to stay in your house if you could somehow could be arranged it? And I think most people would say yes. Okay. And of course, Randy's going to do it. I don't know how many people have lived in Nevada more than. I've been in real estate here in Nevada. I've been here 57 years, and I've been. That's not good. Well, I don't know how old I am. I'm going to hide it from these people. I don't think so. You know, I used to do my Robert Redford picture all the time, but it doesn't work anymore. So the 28 years ago, when we had a disaster, not to this extent. But our interest rates were so high when I came in, we couldn't sell anything. So the state of Nevada sold bonds. And you could get, when the interest rate was 13.5, 14, 15, you could get a 7.5% loan, which was pretty good. Nevada state bonds. And one of the features of that was that if you sold the house anytime within an 8-year period, you were going to share that equity with the state. Okay. And Randy has a solution to some of this problem similar. I'll turn it over to him. Randy, and do you want to talk about that, my friend?
We're getting there.
Okay.
Get your script.
That's my script?
Yeah, get this.
How do I know? Is this Hollywood? How do I know this?
See, please. Gosh, man. Anyway.
Well, I skipped the script. I like my deal better. Go for it.
I do too.
Okay.
President Obama. I was watching Kabuto on TV last night. I like President Obama, especially last night. There is a portion of the new budget bill that just came out. I haven't found the provisions yet, but one of the real estate analysts that knows about this stuff, they started talking about principal reduction. And President Obama has said on several occasions that he wants the banks to start reducing the principal. So anyway, when I find this information, make sure you go to realestate.com. For those of you that are press release, what have you, all that information we are compiling a pretty good library of all these different resources. So in other words, everything Harry and I tell you, we're not accountants, we're not lawyers, and we're not telling you to do anything. We're just submitting information that we're finding, and we're getting a whole bunch of it. And so, yeah, the Wall Street Journal says that $20 billion mortgage principal reduction will be fined by the White House plan. What they're thinking about doing is for the services that do not actively offer homeowners a principal reduction as part of the modification program, they can start fining them big time, $20,000, $30,000 per file. It's an idea they're coming up with. Banks are finding principal reduction. This is an article that I came up with back in February of 2006. excuse me, February the 26th, 2010, a little over a year ago. Washington Post, FDIC to test primary and principal eruption for underwater homeowners. What we're going to be talking about in a few minutes is nothing new. The only problem is the government is not, and the lenders are not telling homeowners